don't know. Hey,
Hello, hello.
I think it has a lot to do with my internet because I even clicked our intro. It's not even coming up. So hopefully we'll get through the broadcast us without things messing up. We'll see.
We will
But
see.
yeah, hi, I'm
Hi,
Latasha Harris.
I'm Alicia Bailey, and we are the She
To
Club
why?
Podcast. Today is Sunday. This is our self care Sunday. We are doing the ABCs of business. We haven't been on for a while because life be and we always have some little technical issues. But you know what? We always overcome. We're resilient, and we always are able to move forward. I am so happy to see my co-host today, my partner, my friend, my sister, Latasha Harris. I'm in Seattle, Washington, and Latasha's in Springfield. My long distance friend. I need you. I need you like right
Yes,
now.
like right now. Like I need you too. So I mean, the feeling is mutual. Let's not get it twisted. But you're so far away, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But I truly, truly miss you here. I feel like Springfield probably misses you, your aura, your personality, who you are to the community, and as a person, like all together. Like you're an amazing person, and you're like my best friend. You're like we're like two different age groups. We're like this, so it balances out. You know what I mean? And I have an old soul, so it always works out. We are two peas in a pod.
We are. I was thinking today, I don't have I could probably count on one hand how many friends, I really close friends. I know a lot of people, but you are like one of my closest friends, probably the person I could be myself the easiest with. And that's why I love doing this podcast because we vibe, we talk. Normally we're in the same kind of clothes, but that's okay. We're doing something vibing, but you got all that green in the background. But yeah,
It's amazing to be able to have someone that you can confide in because guess what? We all don't have those people that we can call up to tell our deepest, darkest secrets to, right? And feel confident and, comfortable enough to share things that we're holding to ourselves. Because you think about it, the more and more you hold things that are bothering you or when you hold secrets like that weighs you down, right? So you always like somebody tell you something, you feel like you always got to tell one person, right? So it's
Mhm.
like having somebody, a confidant, a woman that is on your same level that you vibe with is so amazing and so important. So you are that person for me when you were here in Springfield. And I don't call you as often or we don't talk as often, but we had a divine encounter 5, 6 years ago, and we've been together ever since. So I appreciate you.
I'll tell you when I miss you most is on Fridays when we get together for our margaritas and our Mexican food. Every Friday, I'm like thinking, where's Tasha? I'm looking, I need a margarita and some tacos.
Right. Because,
So
honey, we
anyway,
we would
we'll see each
definitely
other soon.
we would definitely hit the town. So today is Self Care Sunday. We haven't been here in about 4 weeks. It's been pretty hard for us. We both have been going through some things, and even though we love this so much, one of the things is consistency that we're going to talk about today. But being consistent with something that you love but life is happening all at the same time. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty about the things that you cannot do. You only can do what you can do. Take one day at a time. Be intentional about everything. Trust me, every Sunday, we would both love to be here with you guys, but there are things happening in our lives as well as your lives. So please give us some grace. And every time we do show up, we're here with the vibes. So I know you guys miss us. We missed you too. So
Amen.
today, Self Care Sunday, ABCs of Life, talking episode G. We are talking about goals for success, goal setting for success.
In
That's what we're talking
business.
about in business, which also right, which also coincides with self care for yourself, right? Because as you're setting these goals for your business, you're also creating this clarity, organization, mindset for yourself in general. So everything that you're doing in business is also coincides with your life as, self-care.
Absolutely. Because if you put all your time and attention in business and not taking care of yourself, that's not a good thing. And then if you're taking care of yourself and not taking care of your business, then that's not a good thing. So there we have to find a balance. And I think that's where we both are. We've got things that we're wanting to do personally, professionally. We've got family obligations and trying to help all those things coexist and do the things that we love to do while setting those goals and working to achieve those goals. It takes a lot of focus, and it takes time. You have to be really laser focused on what you want. And so I think as we're talking about setting goals, the goal is to be laser focused about what you want, what you can achieve, what's possible now, 2 months from now, a year from now, and maybe 5 years from now. But that's
Yeah.
the roadmap.
Right, absolutely. And goal setting can reduce your anxiety, and it can increase your confidence at the same time, because now you have that roadmap, right? So now you are constantly checking things off of the list, and you can see your progress. Yeah, if you're just doing stuff just to be doing stuff and it's not leading you to a certain place, it feels like you're just everywhere. So goal setting will keep you organized. It will keep you feeling like you're not just moving, you're
Mhm.
going somewhere, because there's a lot of people who are just moving and not going anywhere. They say moving fast but ain't going nowhere. Like, you doing all these different things, but you're not rising, you're not going up levels, you're not, you know, accomplishing the things that you could be accomplishing, because you're too busy doing things that don't even go with your goal, does not even go with your journey. But it seems good, but it's not really helping you to get to where you're trying to get to.
Mhm. And that's the thing, you got to know where you want to get to. And that's why those
Yes,
goals are important. Because, I
yes.
mean, have you ever driven down the road and you like, I don't know where I am, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to make this turn and hope I get to the right street. Well, that's like it is in life. And if you
Right.
don't have goals for your business or your personal, you're riding down the street, making turns, twisting turns, and you like, I don't know where I'm going to end up. I just pray I end up somewhere where I'm not in a ditch somewhere. So that's I'm serious. So that's what goal setting is. So we don't end up in ditches.
Yeah, absolutely. And while you're talking about, driving a car and turning the wrong way, just imagine driving a car with a bunch of noise going on,
Mhm.
and your music is blasting and you're driving these roads, like you said, and you don't even know where you're going. Plus, you have music blasting in your ears. Just close your eyes and imagine yourself right there, lost with the music blasting. That's how it is to not have goals. You don't know where you're going. You can't even listen. Turn the noise down and start focusing on what you truly want. And that noise could be the people around you, right? That noise can be the thousand of things that you're doing that have nothing to do with your goals, right? So figure out the noise in your life and start turning that down so that you can choose the goals that are set for your season, set for your priority, set for what you want. You have to be able to focus.
And sometimes having that focus, it can be hard because there's always chatters, there's distractions. We got the phone, we got our internet, we
The
got
phone, honey, the phone. Uh, the phone.
the phone. I mean, this thing goes off all day. I mean, we can run
I'm not even
businesses from our
no,
phone.
I'm not even talking about it ringing. I'm talking about the scroll of the phone. Like, pay attention. Like, a lot of these phones, you can see like your scroll time. Go
Mhm.
evaluate your scroll time and see how often you're scrolling, because that time that you're spending scrolling is the time that you could be doing something productive. And I'm speaking to Latasha, who is me. Like, stop scrolling, sis. Like, what? Sometimes I'll be like, are you kidding me right now? It's like it's been an hour and you're still sitting in the same spot scrolling. Are you crazy?
I think that's
Get
why I don't get on. That's why I don't get on social media because, because I know me. If I get on there, it's an hour, and so
automatically.
so. And you
I'm not.
can't accomplish your goals not unless your goal is to scroll social media. And social media can be a good tool if you are focused on
Yes,
what you're doing, setting down, um, commenting in people's spaces, and making those comments and being visible in certain spaces where
yes,
you want to be
absolutely.
visible in.
Absolutely, and that's a lot. That's too. And then also you're seeing the trends, especially if you're content creator and you're growing a community. That's me. And I'm not gonna say that all my scrolling is bad, but I feel like I go down a rabbit hole too. So
Mhm.
you have to be careful. If you have a goal on that social media site to grow your community, to make money, to be scalable, to do anything like that, like obviously you have to be on there. So I think that just having those boundaries for yourself and having those goals, maybe setting your goals, like writing them down before you start scrolling. Like, I'm going on here for this. So you can check that off and you don't feel like you just wasted an hour or 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was just thinking when you were saying that you can leave, like sometimes when I'm sitting down to work, my goal is I'm going to sit down and work for 1 hour. Well, a lot of times I will set the timer on my phone. So I know, and I don't pick my phone up. That's my focus time, 1 hour. And then when my alarm goes off, I can, stop and do other things. And that helps me be productive. So that's a goal that I've set, that when I sit down at my desk, I'm going to be concentrated and not get on my phone, not look at emails, but sit down, or not unless it's time for me to look at my emails, but
Right.
maybe set a timer, give yourself a time where you're not doing anything but what you're focused on, what you're supposed to do. And that's a way to set goals too. You got every day you have goals that you need to do, set a time to do it, set an alarm, do it, and then you're done.
Yeah. And trust me, it sounds so easy, but we all know that it's not. But it's about the consistency and the motivation to get the shit done, right?
Yeah.
You want to scale? Do you want to be better? Like, find the
Mhm.
motivation with inside of you, because we can say this till we're blue in the face. I can say it to me 1,000 times, but do I be doing it? No. But it's a time and a place where you're gonna be like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm trying to do this. You can look and you can scroll at everything everybody else is doing. Now it's time for you to do something for yourself. The same thing somebody else is doing, they have the same 24 hours you have. So you need to, and I'm preaching to myself, you could be doing the same thing. Like, wake up, sis, turn those big visions that you're
Mhm.
seeing into daily habits. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And there's a thing called SMART goals, right? So
Mhm.
as you're using the SMART goals frame, you have to be specific. It has to
Mhm.
be measurable. Like,
Mhm.
in order for you to track your progress, in order for you to see what you're doing, it needs to be measurable. I'm not saying don't dream big, because we're supposed to dream big.
We gotta dream big.
Have to dream big, but what is going to take you, what is it going to take to get to that big dream? So you have
Mhm.
to make measurable steps, so reality, so you can make sure that you're checking something off. Because if you're not setting goals to get to that big dream, then you're going to always feel like you failed. You're going to always feel like you're not doing enough. So make
Mhm.
sure that you are setting things that are measurable, so you can be able to track your progress, right?
Mhm.
And then achievable. Same thing.
Mhm.
Set goals that are realistic based on your
Mhm.
current resources and your circumstances. Be relevant. Make sure they're relevant to your goal. I spoke about that.
Mhm.
Like, you're doing all this stuff. You're busy, 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 but ain't shit you doing got to do with where you trying to go. You
Mhm.
know, and we gotta set boundaries. We gotta start saying no to people, because, like, I can go over here and help you. I can do this. I can do that. But is it really doing anything for what you're building for yourself? So holding boundaries and being able to say no to certain things instead of being busy is key too. And then
That
trying.
was I was going to say boundaries was one of our B and B's when we were doing the ABCs of life. And so, and that was a big one because a lot of us, we mess up our goals because we don't keep our boundaries focused and in check.
Right.
And we can a lot of things can throw us off our boundaries. And so,
Yes.
so that's
Yes.
where those, that
And so the
consistency,
T, sorry, and the T in smart is set a time limit.
time.
So be specific, make it measurable, make it achievable. Um, R, and then T. what was R? I'm sorry.
A,
And then
achievable. R is relative. Um,
relevant. And then T is time. So smart. Smart goals. And you could type that into Google.
mhm,
What is the meaning of smart goals? So you can
mhm.
be able to write that out, maybe have that setting somewhere so it can help you as you're trying to achieve your goals. You can make sure that you're being smart about your goal setting. So everything is not just done in vain, like you're literally, making progress.
And what I would say that too is when you're setting goals, sometimes you might want to set a goal that you know that you can achieve, that you have no doubt. Because when you achieve that small goal that you know you can achieve, that's a win for you. So as you're setting your goals, you want to set your goals where you're going to have wins along the way, and so that you don't feel like you have failures, and then you won't feel like wow, I didn't need to do this, I wasn't able to do that. So that's important. um we've been having some
My
technical.
internet
Okay, that's okay.
sucks. So please, Malia got cut off right in the middle of her sentence. But another thing that you want to make sure is accountability without burnout. How to stay committed while protecting your peace and checking in with yourself instead of beating yourself up. We do that a lot.
Mhm. And one of the things too
I'm
is
sorry.
when we're
It's probably
setting
my
goals
internet.
is,
Are you there?
I'm here, can you hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear
Can
you.
Are you there? Okay. Yeah, goals is a big thing. And a lot of us have never really set goals, or we've set so many goals and we don't do them. And then we feel like failures, and then we don't want to do anything. That's why I said set goals that you know that you are going to be able to achieve, so that it gives you those wins. And so as you're building up your wins, then you can set bigger and better goals, goals. And as you get those wins, then you can continue to make bigger goals that you know that you're going to win. So start small, something that you can have those quick wins, because those quick wins is what fuels you to continue on with your goals. Nobody wants to be a failure, and we don't want to feel like failures. It's not even
Yeah,
that we're
and
failures. It's not that we're failures,
right.
because we feel like failures when we don't achieve our goals, right?
Yeah, check in with yourself too. Yeah,
Hmm.
check in with yourself. Make sure you don't want to overwhelm yourself, right? So make sure you're checking in with yourself. If it's too much, you can always
Hmm.
reevaluate yourself. You can reevaluate your goals. You can switch up. You can change your mind. These are your goals. Don't
Hmm.
feel like you have to do what you wrote down on paper. No one knows. These are your goals, right? So make sure you're checking in with yourself to see how yourself is doing, right? Because you got to I talk to myself every day. I call myself by name. Listen here, Latasha, because a lot of times I self-sabotage myself. I'm all in the way, of myself. Like, girl, move out the way, because there are things that need to be done. And as long as I am sitting here and I am in my own way, it's not going to get done. So check in with yourself and evaluate how you're feeling about the goals that you have set, and switch
And
up if you need to switch up.
yeah, that is key. So switch up if you have to. There's no harm in saying, well, you know what, that was a goal that I wanted, I thought I wanted, but as I'm pursuing it, that's not really what I want. You have to be honest and true with yourself, and don't let anybody set goals for you. You got to set your own goals, because people are good for telling you what you need to do and how you need to do it.
Right,
That's
absolutely.
so yeah. So
Yes.
yes.
And then protect oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The perfectionism, we get that a
Mm,
lot too, right? So I can't do it because it's not perfect.
right.
The fear of failing. So you're going to launch your website and you fear that it's going to fail, so you don't do it, or it's not perfect, or you're missing this or you're missing that. Don't allow perfection to stop you from your purpose. Okay. Okay, Latasha, for that word.
Don't
Yes.
let perfection stop you from your purpose. And then that's true because I'm on different websites and I'm looking at stuff and it may not be perfect, but I'm like, well, at least they got it up and they doing it, and I'm sure they're gonna fix it eventually. It's up. They at least they went, they did it, and that's the goal. Just do it. Start somewhere. You gotta
Yeah,
start.
you can always go back and revise it. You can always go back and add something. You can always go back and change something. My website is ever changing, honey. It's some stuff on there right now. You'd be like, what is that? Don't worry about it. I see it. I fix it. I got
Right.
some jobs on there that say $3,600 an hour. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean. It's $3,600 a week. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to lose sleep over that. The website
No.
is beautiful. There's a little couple of things that need to be changed. But guess what? It's up. I'm working. I'm doing what I need to do. Do not let perfection stop you from your purpose.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And so,
Yes,
since
yes.
this is the She Club podcast and this is our ABCs of business, so let's talk about business goals because we're talking about business goals, but a lot of them has to do with our personal. So, Tasha, as you're setting goals for business, what's like the number one goal you think that we should be making as business people, and when we're doing our businesses?
I feel like number one, if you're just now starting out, if there's a business venture that you are just now starting, for me, that helped me 1,000% was hiring someone who knows my business. Whatever niche, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to hire a coach who knows that business because
Mhm.
you want to learn the ins and outs. You can learn it on your own, trust and believe. I mean, but it's going to take you longer time. You're going to have more losses when you're learning on your own instead of investing in yourself. I
Mhm.
feel like me investing into staffing. I'm a travel nurse. I knew how to be a travel nurse. I did not know how to do business as a travel or as a staffing person. So I hired someone who was an expert. Okay, let the experts do what the experts do. We learn from the experts. So I hired an expert to teach me about staffing, which then led me into knowing and being able to balance what I'm doing. So I feel like the number one thing goal setting is finding you someone that fits your craft to teach you. If you're going to open up, if you want to start your own wine, hire someone who has done it already, right?
Mhm.
Even someone who has failed it, because then you can learn how not to fail,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So I think for me, that's my number one thing. And I'm speaking of like from 2019 when I first started my business. That's one of the things that I felt was a goal for me that I accomplished that really set me apart from everybody.
Mhm. And you have to invest in yourself, invest in your craft, invest in the coaches, your counselors, your business partners, educate yourself. The worst person out there is somebody that's trying to teach somebody and they don't really know what they're talking about. You can chat GPT stuff all day long, but if it's not inward and you don't know what you're talking about, you're just going to you won't sound authentic. You won't sound for real. So educate yourself, and get certificates. You don't now have to get degrees, but make sure that when you are setting a goal, I want to be a health coach. I want to help people with insurance. I want to build a business in nursing. Educate yourself on everything that you need to be successful in whatever you're trying to pursue, and that is a goal for you and that's for
Yes.
me. Education.
Right. Right. And there's a lot of mini goals in there to get to that goal, right?
Right.
There's a lot of mini goals for me to be a healthcare healthcare staffing agency. There was a lot of goals that I had to check off in order to launch, in order to do it. So as you're setting these goals for yourself, then you can see the bigger picture, which is at the end. But you have a
Mhm.
lot of things that you have to do. Don't just be here to jump to here because
Mhm.
there's too many steps. You have to set the foundation. In order for you to build, you need to set a foundation, and that's where your goal setting comes in at, is at the foundation level.
at the foundation level. And part of that foundation level is market research. Look at your competition, look who's doing what you're doing, get tips from them, good tips, bad tips, because they're probably looking at your stuff too. So do your market research, see what they're doing, and how you can implement. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. You're not going to plagiarize, you're not going to copy somebody verbatim, but if they are doing, you can kind of strategize and use what they're doing that fits your goals and what you want. So that market research, finding who your competitors are, what they're doing, and set your goals. Okay, Miss So and so is doing that over there. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do X, Y, Z to reach my goal, so I can be as empowering as Miss C over there. You know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah, absolutely. Because for me, for other staffing agencies, finding out some of the successful ones, finding out what tools they're using, right?
mm-hmm,
Looking at
mm-hmm,
their website, looking at
mm-hmm,
all the different websites, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, seeing what works. And me as a nurse, using their website, how user friendly is it? So taking all
mm-hmm,
those things to create something for myself. So you have to use what's around you as you're setting these goals for your business, and then also reevaluate your goals, right? So
mm-hmm,
maybe you're not obtaining it, or maybe you did obtain it, it just didn't look like you thought it was going to look. Reevaluate your goals, set new goals, set 1 month goals, set 6 month goals, set year goals, set 5 year goals, so you'll
mm-hmm,
know where you're going, and then you can always look back. And we're not just talking about setting them, we're talking about writing them down so you could go
mm-hmm,
back and you can evaluate yourself and have those wins, the small wins and the big wins, right?
mm-hmm. And I like what you said, write them down, because if they're in your head, you got to get that stuff out of your head. You got to write it down, put it on paper where you can look at it, evaluate it, see where you are, where you need to go. And you, that gives you that roadmap I'm talking about. But that was one of the things I learned very early in my business journey, is get all those stuff, all those ideas, all that stuff out of your head and put it down. Then that way you can see it, you can visualize it. And that when visualization is a big part of goal setting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's been, listen, this is a great talk. Now I want to get off here and do some work, some goal setting for myself. Every time I have these conversations with you, it just lights a type of fire in me. And I hope that it's lighting a fire in anybody who is watching, anybody with the replay. We apologize that we have not been here, but we have truly missed you guys. So to wrap it up, Melisha, what would you say?
Well, what I would say is, goal setting, in order, you need to have a goal to know where you are, to know where you want to be. And so, and if you not fail, but if you don't achieve the goals that you set, that's okay. Reevaluate your goals and start again. And you may have to start again and again and again. Most successful people, the richest people in the world, they have failed. They have failed many, many, many times. There's no harm in being a failure. But what can mess you up is not having goals, not having a road, not knowing what you want, and then working to achieve them. And whether you win or you fail, but you have to get those goals. You got to get them out of your head and look at them daily, talk to yourself about them, and keep going no matter what, and make it unapologetically, this is what I want, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get what I want.
Nothing beats a failure but a try. Okay.
That was
So
my
if you don't try,
grandmother's favorite. Yes.
nothing beats a failure but a try. And what that means is you can never fail if you don't try. So you got to just put yourself out there. Okay. And be apologetically about you. That's all I have to say. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We're going to try to be back next Sunday. If everything goes right in our lives, we will definitely see you guys next week.
All right. Miss you. This is a wonderful week. Go out, set those goals this week. Get your pen and paper out. If you have a journal, write those goals down and maybe write in the chat what your goals are if you were able to achieve them. And we like to see what's going on, and maybe we can help you or you can help us. So have a wonderful week. To our audience, having a wonderful week, my friend. And this is it's summertime. Yay.
Yay, it's summertime. I'm about to be outside. No, I'm just playing. Bye, y'all. Mwah. Bye, Melisha.
Thank you for joining us on the She Club podcast. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts with a review. Stay connected. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the She Club podcast.